Hey, what's up guys? Thomas Doc here, StrongFirst Level 2 Kettlebell Instructor, here to show you proper squat technique so you can actually do the goblet squat or all the other squat exercises that I have you do in my program, and so you can properly protect those knees. Guys, if you want to protect your knees, protect your lower back, protect your hips, you want to have proper squat technique, all right? So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So there's several ways to do squat. You can have, there's a bodybuilding style of squat, there's a powerlifting style of squat. There's different variations, all right? So you may have seen squats like this, all right? That's gonna target your your thighs, your lateral part of your quads, all right? It's gonna target this part, but it's gonna keep your hips really impinged. And then there's wider squat, feet forward, same thing. It's gonna target more of the outer thighs, but again, it leaves your hips tight. You wanna have your hips open, which leads me to my preferred, my recommended overall squat technique that allows you to squat properly and your hips to open naturally as they should. All right, so what does that look like? Your feet are about shoulder width apart or hip width apart, depending on your build. And you're gonna slightly rotate your toes outward 15 degrees, all right? So that when you squat, your knees are coming out. And by doing that, you're opening up the hips. So your hips can open and move freely as they're naturally supposed to do. So the squat is like this. You may have seen my goblet squat video. I have a bell here. It's the same squat. That's why I shot this video for you, so you can know how to do the squat right. So you can add a weight. You can add a kettlebell, but you first need to know how to squat properly. All right? All right, so on the squat, my 3-step system, of course, is the setup. You're going to set up, like I said, shoulder width apart, toes slightly turned out. Okay, this is your setup. Okay, and then the next thing is you're going to pull down and control, right? When you pull yourself down into that squat, your knees are coming out. You're pressing the knees towards the walls, the opposite walls, and your hips are coming back. You're sitting back, all right? The weight should be on those toes. I mean the heels, not your toes. Not your toes. Not on the toes. The heels. Do not do squats like this, all right? Do not lift your heels up, all right? So my fault there. So heels, your weight should be on the heels. That's why we're sitting back into it. All right. That's what's going to load the hips. And that's a proper squat. All right. If you can only come here without your heels coming up, you have probably your tight calves and tight or limited range of motion in your ankles. And we need to work on that. But do not go lower than you can without your heels coming up. All right, you want your heels down. Right, you want to make sure you can squat down like this, ideally parallel to the ground, lined up. All right, chest up and come up strong. All right, which leads to the third part, which is up. All right, so my third part to the squat is, so once you get your feet lined up 15 degrees out, both shoulder width apart or so, you pull down, knees coming out here, chest is up. We're not coming this way. Your chest is up, your heels are out, and you're powering up. Make sure these knees do not buckle in, all right? I see that too many times. I want you to focus on these heels. I want you to corkscrew your heels in, which is going to shove your knees out. So rotate, corkscrew, like your heels are pressing towards each other. They're not literally moving, but you're pressing them, rolling them in, all right? And that's going to keep your knees going outward. Okay, that's going to keep them going out and not buckling in. That is a key tip. Remember that. That tip is going to keep those knees from coming in. It's going to be harder at the bottom. It's going to be more of a challenge because you're not coming up this way. You're actually using your hips and quads and your legs properly in the squat by rotating and corkscrewing those heels in. It's going to be a harder upward motion on the squat, but you're going to do it correctly and you're not going to hurt your knees. Like I said in the beginning, protect those knees. One way to protect them, keep them lined up with the ankles and the knee. All right, or the hip, the knee, it should be all lined up here. It should track, okay? You don't want your knee coming up this way or out that way. You want it lined up, all right? So, real quick again, 3-step system, set up, feet about shoulder width apart, slightly about 15 degrees, toes turned outward. All right, chest up. You're going to pull yourself nice and slow, controlled down as your knees go to the opposite walls, right? So they come this way, out. See how my knees are out? Chest is up here. And as I come up, third step, we're going to corkscrew those heels in. As you breathe out, come up like that. All right, practice these. Come down. They're in, abs tight, pause, come up, again. Notice how my knees stay nice, right where I put them. They don't bow in as I come up. You're corkscrewing, your knees are coming outward on the way down and corkscrewing the way up, those heels, and that forces those knees to stay put, stay where they are. That's how you protect your knees on the squat, all right? Practice this without weight. Use your body weight. Practice through my 3-step system. The setup, shoulder width apart, 15 degrees turned out. Pull down, pull yourself down, chest up, back nice and straight. As your heels come out to the sides. Opposite walls. They're in. Pause. Breathe out as you corkscrew those heels in to keep those knees nice and lined up. That's my 3-step system, guys. If you do this and do it properly, you can get the squat down safely, and you're going to protect those knees, you're going to protect your lower back, and you're going to do them right. And then you can add a weight. Let's back up. Let's start with the body weight squat to get that down first, and then we'll move on to a loaded weight, loaded goblet squat, so on and so forth. All right. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Practice this, get this down. Trust me, this is key. This is essential to moving forward and making progress safely and effectively, all right? So do this. Let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, check out my next video when you're ready for this, which is the goblet squat. Check that out once you get the body weight squat down first, all right? Check it out. And of course, hey, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything, let me know. And then subscribe if you like what I'm putting out there so you can get updates from every single video that I put out there. Have an awesome day. Train strong. Expect success. Go after it. Let's get to it. See you in the next video.